Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be diving into the new foundation from Valentino. This is called Very Valentino. This is a light lasting perfecting foundation. I picked this up on the Nordstrom's website. They launched a bunch of other makeup, but I decided to just buy the foundation. I am kind of a foundation junkie. I love foundation. I love concealer. I love testing them out. So the other makeup from the line just didn't really intrigue me all that much. I don't know. I don't really like the packaging. I'm not going to lie. I don't like the packaging. I don't like the red. I'm not into it. Not my favorite. I get it from the Valentino perspective, but for me, I just don't think it's that pretty of packaging. So I passed on everything that they launched, but the foundation I could not pass on. So I've been testing this for the last couple days. I have a lot to say about this foundation. Before we jump into the details about the foundation, up here on the screen is my age and what I look for and what I like when I'm reviewing foundation. I always feel like it's very important for the audience to know what the person behind the camera likes and dislikes and what they look for and what their skin type is, because we all have different skin types and we all have different needs from our foundations. And it's very, very important for the viewer to know what that person likes and dislikes so that they understand that as they're watching the review. Now, if you guys are also curious about my skin tone and the shade that I bought, because I did only buy one shade, I did nail the shade that I picked up. It was a perfect shade match for me. So if you guys are curious about my skin tone, I will leave a list in the description box down below of popular foundations out in the market and what shades I wear in those foundations, so you can get an idea of my shade in my complexion and kind of use it as a guide if you feel like you're close to my complexion. Let's get into the deets about this. So this retails for $64. Like I said, I did pick it up on the Nordstrom's website. Now, this foundation actually comes in 40 shades, which I thought was very impressive for them to kind of knock it out of the ballpark and give us a wide variety of shades. The shades are kind of weird to pick through, so you want to kind of follow the guide. So for example, up here on the screen, there are 14 shades in the medium range category. There are 3 undertones. Now, most brands, they will do C for cool tones, N for neutral, and W for warm. Valentino didn't do that. So their cool tone is Rosa, okay? Their neutral tone is Neutra, and their warm tone is Ambra. My shade is M for medium, A for Ambra, which is a warm, and 5, which is the level 5 of depth. So I hope that makes sense. So if you're light skin toned, medium skin toned, tan, go and find your category and then go from there. That is the best way for me to describe it. It was a little bit different than what we're used to. If you're looking for a cool tone, you're going to want to look in the shades with the R. If you have a neutral tone, you're going to want to look for the shades with the N. If you have a warm tone, you're going to want to look for the shades with the A next to it. So hope that makes sense. It was a little bit confusing, but I ended up figuring it out. So this is called the Very Valentino Foundation, and it is a light-lasting perfecting foundation. So this is described as a semi-matte light foundation that perfectly balances 3 foundation dreams. It has buildable coverage, it's breathable texture, and lasting 24-hour wear. So it's supposed to be a 3-hit wonder. This features light-lasting technology to deliver buildable medium coverage with a comfortable, breathable fill. Formulated with an extra light powder that can absorb up to 3 times its own weight, the formula allows for a perfect hydrated semi-matte foundation finish that lasts all day and transfer resistant. It is available in 40 inclusive shades for all skin tones. This liquid foundation was developed in partnership with an extensive research on 5,000 women in 8 different countries across the continent. To ensure perfect coverage and fill, this formula was tailored to each skin tone, ensuring most perfect matte finish from the lightest to the deepest shade. I really like that they went above and beyond to really try to get the right shade range. And I think that's bravo to them. I mean, they worked with 5,000 women across 8 different countries. That is amazing. And I think that just shows that they are coming into the makeup world and they're coming in and they're doing it right from the gate. And I really appreciate that. This is not a full ounce. This is 0.85 ounces. So it's not a full ounce. And it is made in France. Oh, that was a mouthful, y'all. That's all the details on this foundation. We're gonna go ahead and jump into the application of this foundation, and then I will take you guys outside. I will do a 6-hour daylight check-in where I take you guys outside, check in, zoom you guys in close. I like to get up close and personal with complexion products. I got no shame in my game. I'm here to help you decide if this is something you want to spend your money on, because it's a very expensive foundation. Then, of course, we will jump into the swatches. I will swatch the MA5 next to a bunch of other shades that I have in my collection, so you guys can kind of get an idea of this shade and how it compares to others. And then I will do a 12-hour check-in, and which during my 12-hour check-in, I will get into my final thoughts. So without further ado, let's jump straight into the application, and I will see you guys all in my final thoughts. So let's go ahead and put on this foundation, see how it applies. It comes in this red box, and the actual bottle itself is really luxe, about the same weight. Maybe the Tom Ford Shade and Illuminate is a little bit heavier. And the Shade and Illuminate has a magnetic lid, which is pretty luxe. This one does not. It just kind of slides on. I like the packaging. I think they did a good job on it. I like the gold and the red, and kind of gives that whole Valentino feel to it. So it's a nice packaging. Got this in one shade. Right now I'm a little bit extra bronzy because I just did fake tan, so I'm a little bit bronzy right now. But the shade I bought is MA5. I think that's going to be a pretty good shade for me, actually. I am going to use my favorite foundation brush, which just came back into stock. This is from Sonia G. This is the Jumbo Base. I'm going to put the foundation on this side with a brush and smooth it out with a sponge. And then on this side, I will just put it on with a sponge only. How I prefer to put on foundation is to put it all over the face with a brush and then smooth it out with a sponge. That's my preferred way, because I feel like I have more control of how much product I'm using. With a sponge, you never know how much the sponge absorbs and how much you're putting on. So with a brush, I feel like I get a more even application, but I also like the finish of the sponge. So that's kind of why I do that method. Okay, that looks beautiful. That looks really pretty. Really pretty. I'm going to bring some up here on the forehead. This is a really good shade for me right now with having like self-tanner on my face. I did put self-tanner on last night. And I did put some on my face, so my face is a little bit more bronzy. I went on vacation and I got a pretty decent tan, but I lost it as quick as I got it. So I'm gonna go into the foundation and pick up the rest of what's on my hand with the sponge. And I'm gonna take and just smooth this out. I don't really feel like I need to be honest with you. Between that amazing brush and the texture of this foundation, it blended out really beautifully, actually. It's a beautiful foundation. It's pretty. I am very pleasantly surprised how beautiful that foundation is. And it looks really beautiful over texture and over my wrinkles, like right through here. I'm starting to get a little bit of that, you know, creepy skin where it kind of, you know, I mean, that's just kind of what happens, especially around this area. That's kind of my test. If a foundation goes over this area beautifully, it'll do the rest, because I do Botox on my forehead and my crow's feet. So this is kind of the test for me right through here to see how the foundation will wear and how it will look. And this applied beautifully over all of that. So I am very pleasantly surprised how beautiful this foundation is. I am going to apply this side with a sponge only. Now it has a very slight fragrance to it, like very, very light, but I don't have the best sense of smell. I don't have any sensitivities to scent or smells, so like in perfumes and stuff. So it might be light for me, but that doesn't mean that it's going to be light for you. So just kind of keep that in mind. Now, I can tell that this is not a foundation that you want to get really thick and heavy over your wrinkles because it is like a soft matte finish. So whenever you use a soft matte finish foundation, you don't want to go too heavy over wrinkles and texture and stuff like that because it will start to look a little bit on the cakey side. So this looks really beautiful. It does. Just to be on the safe side, I am going to take the other side of my sponge that doesn't have any product on it and go over that area just to pick up any extra that might be sitting there and make sure that I don't have too much in that area. I always do that when I'm using a soft matte foundation because I don't want it to look cake face. But this is a really beautiful foundation. I am very impressed. I don't know how it's gonna wear, but I am impressed. It looks beautiful over pores. It looks beautiful over texture. By the way, what I put on before putting on the foundation, I used the Charlotte Tilbury Magic Cream. So that is what I put on underneath this. Of course, I have my skincare with my SPF and stuff, but I put on the Magic Cream, especially when I'm using a foundation that's like a soft matte finish. Being that I am dry normal, and I'm not only dry normal, but I'm 42 years old. So I want to make sure that I have enough moisture underneath my skin before going in with a soft matte finish. But this is beautiful. Doesn't emphasize pores. I would say it's a fantastic medium, probably to full coverage. Like I feel like you could build this to a full. Overall, I think this is absolutely beautiful. And I feel like it gives a very natural, beautiful finish. And it's not too shiny. It's not too matte. It's kind of that perfect in between. This is really pretty. I have very high hopes for this foundation. Now, obviously, the true test is how this will wear. But for now, this is absolutely stunning. Okay, so that's it for the application portion of the video. The next time you guys see me will be in my 6-hour daylight check-in. Don't know if I'll do the check-in today. I might do it tomorrow, but that will be the next time you see me. Once we get through the 6-hour daylight check-in, then we'll jump into the swatches, and I will swatch this shade next to other foundations that I have in my collection so you guys can see how this shade compares to other shades out on the market. Then we will jump into my 12-hour check-in, which will be my final thoughts. So I will see you guys then. Okay, so I wanted to do a quick 6-hour check-in out here on the porch. Right now, it's actually 5:16. So I've been filming all day, and so it's been more than 6 hours. Check out my dog. He's like, why can't I come out? So anyway, it's been 7 hours since I put this on. I put this on right around 10 o'clock this morning, and I've just been filming all day long. So this is the first chance I've been able to come out here and zoom you guys in and show you how the foundation is looking. I was kind of looking at it in the mirror as he wants to come out so bad. Before I turned on the camera, I was looking in the mirror, and this does look really beautiful. It lays so beautifully over texture, and this is exactly what you want from a soft matte finish foundation. Now, I did not powder it today, but you can tell I'm a little bit shiny. I didn't powder because I wanted to kind of do check-ins and stuff without powder, so you guys can just see the foundation for what it is without powder and stuff like that. I did use the Magic Cream this morning for my primer, and I just put a little tiny bit of the foundation on. In the application, I used more because I was using a sponge and a brush, but what I've been doing is just using one pump. It provides great coverage. One pump, I spread it evenly all over the face, and then I kind of smooth it out with a sponge, and it's easy. It's so easy to apply. Doesn't need a lot, and I really wouldn't recommend using a lot with this. But anyways, I'll get into all of that in my final thoughts. Let's go ahead and zoom in so you guys can see what this looks like 7 hours later out here on the porch. So let's zoom in. Let's check out the textured area first. So as you can see, it looks really good right here. I mean, it looks really good over my texture, and it looks really good over kind of the creeping skin that goes on. You can kind of see that loose skin in this area. It looks really good over that. Really beautiful over wrinkles. Just love the way that this looks all over this area. I got some highlight on my lips today, don't I? But as you come up to the forehead, I mean, this looks amazing. It covered up all the hyperpigmentation. Now I could probably build this to a full, but obviously I don't. But this just looks really, really beautiful. I mean, all the days that I've worn it, I would say today is the third day, and this is absolutely beautiful. It's a very, very beautiful foundation. So far, I love it. So we'll see. I will do a check-in later on this evening to give you guys my final thoughts. So that's it for the 6-hour, well, I guess it's technically 7-hour daylight check-in. I will see you guys later on this evening to give you guys my full thoughts and a 12-hour check-in. So I will see you guys then. Okay, so I am back to give my final thoughts about this foundation. It is currently 10:20 at night, so I've officially had it on for 12 hours. And let's go ahead and zoom in, show you guys what this looks like up close, and then I will get into my final thoughts. Okay, so I turned down the ring light because the ring light makes everything look better, but as you can see, this all looks amazing, doesn't it? Like, all of this looks so good. I have lost hardly no coverage around here, like nothing. It looks amazing, and I didn't powder this. Like, I can touch it and I don't get anything on my hands. It doesn't pull away. It doesn't separate from the forehead. I mean, you guys, this looks as good as it did when I first applied it. Now, right around here, around my nose, you can kind of see I've been itching my nose. I've been editing, so my nose has been driving me crazy. Plus, I've had like 4 hairs inside of my nose all night. I live with a German Shepherd and a Golden Retriever. They are very hairy. And so I kept trying to pull this hair out of my nose. It was driving me nuts. Anyway, so my nose is a little wonky, but this looks amazing. I mean, every time I've worn this foundation, I've been so impressed on how long it wears. Yes, I prefer this with powder. So today was a check-in day, so I didn't want to wear it with powder. I have worn this with powder. I wore it with powder yesterday. Loved it. In fact, I prefer it with powder because it doesn't give me the shine. By the end of the night, the shine starts to kind of pop through. If you're dry skinned, that might be something that would be good for you. Love this foundation. Love it. So I'm here to say, officially, this is my favorite soft matte foundation I've probably ever worn. In fact, I have a feeling that this might replace my La Mer. So I have absolutely loved my La Mer Soft Fluid Foundation. These two are very similar in the way that they wear. Extremely similar. This is cheaper, even though you do get a full ounce of the La Mer. You know, you only get 0.85. The Valentino is $2.56 per milliliter. There's 25 milliliters in here. 30 milliliters is a full ounce. This is 0.85 ounce, so it's 25 mils. This is $4.50 per milliliter. So this is $135. You get 30 mils, which is 1 ounce. The Valentino is about half the cost as the soft fluid from La Mer. And I would say these are extremely similar in the way that they wear, the way that they apply, the coverage that you get. This La Mer has been my favorite since, well, I can't say when I first used it. When I first used it, I didn't have the right shade and I didn't quite love it. Then when I got the right shade, which I wear 43 Honey in this, fell madly in love. I've almost used the entire bottle. I mean, you can see through. I'm down here now. Now, I have a lot of foundations in my collection. If I use that much of a foundation, that means I absolutely love it. I am almost to here on this foundation, and it's one of my absolute favorites. So I am here to say that these are very similar. And in fact, I'm kind of curious to see how these compare. So maybe I'll do a video comparing these two, applying them, doing a wear test, and see how they wear. But I am absolutely in love with this foundation. It is absolutely stunning. Soft matte finish, beautiful, great coverage, looks so skin-like, gorgeous on the complexion, gorgeous on the wrinkles. They did it right with the shade range. Having 5,000 women from 8 different countries from all across the continent come together and create this shade range. The effort that they put into it, nailed it. You guys, they absolutely nailed this foundation. On a scale from 1 to 5, this is a hard 5. This is a hard 5. Hard 5. It is beautiful. If you like a radiant foundation, I would just recommend using a more like hydrating, radiant type of primer underneath this, because I do feel like this is a great foundation for those who have dry skin all the way to oily. But I think for those who are oily, if you're using an oil blocking primer, and if you use a really good setting powder that you love that locks your oils, I kind of feel like you might love this too. I don't know, really oily, maybe not, but I would say like combo leaning oily. This beautiful. Well done, Valentino. They knocked it out of the ballpark with this. When I was on the Instagram page, I noticed that they're going to be doing a cushion foundation. If you're into cushion foundations over this one, hang tight and maybe wait for the cushion one. It's not available in America yet because I looked on the Valentino website. It's not on Nordstrom's. If you guys know if it's here in the United States, let me know in the comment section down below. I couldn't find the cushion foundation anywhere, but if you guys have found it, let me know because I will definitely test that one out. But I am very curious about it. It's called the Valentino Go Cushion. It's a weightless, it glides onto the skin for a semi-matte finish with a touch of hydration. I would say that's kind of the similar description of this one. So it's just in a cushion. So just FYI for those who love cushion foundation, that will be coming eventually to the United States. But in love with this foundation. Hard 5, in love. You guys will be seeing me using it. You'll see it in my description box. I'm in love. In fact, I'm going to try to look to see if I can get me a winter shade because this is definitely my summer shade. Definitely going to get a winter shade in this. Beautiful. And I will do a video of these side by side because I am very curious. The whole time I've been wearing this for the last 3 days, I kept thinking in my head, it is giving me the La Mer Soft Fluid Foundation vibes. Like these two are so similar. This one lays beautifully over wrinkles, beautiful over texture. And if this is half the cost, it is a no-brainer, y'all. So I will do that video. That will be coming up very soon if you guys are interested. That's it for the review, you guys. I don't have anything to say. I am screaming from the rooftops. It's beautiful foundation. Sound off down below in the comment section. Have any of you guys picked up this foundation? If you have, share with us your skin type and your experience. This is just my opinion. Your opinion counts just as much as anyone else's coming on behind a camera and sharing their thoughts. So definitely let us know in the comment section down below your experience with this foundation, especially if it differs from mine. I always feel like it's important for the audience to see a different perspective in the comment section. So share those thoughts. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me in today's video. I hope you guys all have a wonderful day, and I will see you guys all in my next video. Love you. Bye.